The Celtics topped the Charlotte Hornets here at TD Garden, 126-94, and this segment is powered by 1-in-100. Head over to CLNSmedia.com/CelticsOKC, where you can enter to win a pair of tickets to see the Oklahoma City Thunder here at TD Garden on Super Bowl Sunday. That's CLNSmedia.com/CelticsOKC. Chris, Nick, 6 players in double figures. You had a tremendous game from Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. Chris, let's start with you. What did you see differently in Jaylen Brown's approach tonight?
I mean, it's been different for the last 3 weeks or so, even a month. I mean, his perimeter shooting, I've mentioned it pretty relentlessly over the last couple of segments, but his perimeter shooting opens up so much in his game. He can be more aggressive, and the Jaylen Brown that the Celtics drafted, going to the rim, being aggressive, can kind of open up through that perimeter game because it allows defenders to come up hard on him, and it allows him to blow past him. And he's been really explosive and aggressive, and I love that. And I think his defensive game has stepped up a lot too, which a lot of people aren't focusing on, and it's created for him in transition. I mean, when he gets going downhill, his downhill speed is really, really impressive. So I thought he's been phenomenal lately.
Nick, it's the second straight consecutive night, 20-plus points from Jaylen Brown. Same thing can be said about Jayson Tatum. Kyrie Irving sat again for second straight night. Do you think there's any correlation between him and Jaylen Brown? I'm stirring here. I'm not saying that.
I mean, even Tatum.
I don't want to say Kyrie Irving makes him a less effective player, but why is that the case when it comes to Jaylen Brown?
Tatum has great games when Kyrie's there too, but he seems to play a little bit more confident too. Listen, you're not going to say Kyrie Irving is negatively affecting Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum. I think it's kind of more what Chris said, and also what Brad Stevens said in the post-game press conference, which was kind of like not uncommon when a player does well on offense, they pick up another side of their game, rebounding, and you said defense as well. The thing with Jaylen is, if he goes through another slump, are we going to see his entire game crumble again? And that's what concerns me. Right now, you couldn't ask for more. You got 7-11 back, man. You got between Tatum and... Actually, it's not 7-11. He's 0, isn't he, Tatum?
Tatum is 0, yeah.
So,
Did you just have 7-11 on your mind?
Yeah.
I thought Terry Rozier made kind of a good point. Someone asked him about that in the post-game press conference. Basically, like, Kyrie leaves, and this ball starts flowing around, and you've got 6 guys in double figures. What's the deal there? And he had a pretty great answer. He's like, Kyrie's one of the best scorers on the planet, arguably. So guys are going to tend to ball watch, and, that just happens. And when he's out of the lineup, we don't really know where the scoring is going to come from, but guys pick up the slack. That's just the way it is. And then he kind of chuckled. He looked at us. He was like, I think you guys would do the same thing too. And I think he's right. That's just the way it goes. It happens with all teams when their star players go out. They just
find production from elsewhere. How do you stop that? How does Brad Stevens – because he had the same problem with Isaiah Thomas. Ball watching. How is it? I don't think
the ball watching hasn't completely existed in the last month. It was bad early on in the season,
really good,
but it's been fine. And Kyrie has been much better at getting his teammates involved, and he's improved.
And assists.
Yeah, exactly. So he's done a much better job as well as his teammates. So I don't think the ball watching has been that much of an issue as it was, say, in November and December.
Well, Kyrie Irving is still considered day-to-day. No word if he'll make the trip to New York when the Celtics take on the Knicks Friday night at Madison Square Garden. But until then, of course, you can keep it here at CLNS Media, where we got you covered with plenty of coverage here at CLNS Media and CLNSmedia.com. And, of course, subscribe to our CLNS Media YouTube page.